Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Crickmore, and this is my presentation on Anton Chekhov. Biography. So his full name is Anton Pavlovich Chekhov, born January 29, 1860 in Taganrog, Russia. Died. My source that I got this information is very mixed on whether it's the 14th or the 15th that he died, but he definitely died in Bradenweiler, Germany, of tuberculosis. Forgive my pronunciation. Russian. He was a Russian playwright and a master of the modern short story. His literary career started with comic sketches while also studying medicine at University of Moscow. Upon graduating, he became a physician, but also a playwright. At the age of 26, he had published over 400 short stories as a means to support his family because he took the position of man of the house for his large family because of his abusive religious father, who was a fanatic, not really good for a family. And in 1888, he won the Pushkin Prize, awarded to the Russian who achieved highest standard of literary excellence. Major themes. He deals with a lot of psychological things. He wrote to inspire deeper thinking. After all, he was studying to be a physician. You gotta be psychological. No room for philosophy when your other profession is a physician. Family and the common people. As he had his own troubled family life with his father, he wrote about families and situations that sympathize with the common people of Russia. He wrote for the people. He wrote very mundane and simple situations, but wrote them in such a way that they could convey a deeper message. Disease and death. As he suffered from tuberculosis, he wrote about diseases and death, and characters would have internal psychological stress and internal drama that wouldn't leave their head. It's another reason why he wrote psychologically, especially around the fear of disease, the fear of death, and the dissolution of social order. As he lived pre-Russian Revolution, before the communism, he saw the changing society and how the Tsar was not really a good political figure at all. So his characters had unfulfilled dreams or shattered expectations, and through the story and their circumstances, it lead to a revelation that hits on a deeper level, whether it be a revelation of something that would change their life for the better, or it would psychologically break them to their very core. Writing style. As a Russian writer and playwright of the late 19th and early 20th century, some of the finer details of his writing may be lost to the numerous translations of his work since he wrote them. The style has ambiguity and has little detail as possible. Some stories don't even have a wrap-up ending. Some stories just end, and it's up to the reader to interpret how it ends. His non-conventional approach to the peasantry of Russia gave his work a panoramic view of the country's social climate. He influenced writers with his use of mood, character interaction, or lack thereof, and the ability to write more of a setting than the actual characters to give a realistic worldview. Analysis and interpretation of Champagne. The story that I will be talking about is Champagne. So the story goes, Nicholas, a man, feels lonely and empty even though he has a job on a railway and a wife. He works in a railway station. He has a wife, but he doesn't love her, as he takes glancing looks at women at the station and just loves drinking alcohol a lot. That's why the story is called Champagne. While enjoying New Year's Eve, he drops a bottle of champagne, and his wife tells him that it's an omen of bad luck. But, obviously, he's not going to believe her. Oops. He eventually gets the news that his aunt-in-law is coming to stay for 3 days to get away from her husband, as he is ill-natured and tyrannical. While his aunt was there, he was drunk, and it just sort of ends with him maybe dying. That's also up for interpretation. Speaking of that scene up for interpretation, swept away from the face of the earth, my wife and my aunt herself and my strength. From the little station in the steppe it has flung me, as you can see, into this dark street. Now tell me, what further evil can happen to me? Now, I take this as he got drunk. I mean, this whole story, it's been talking about how he loves to drink alcohol, and he was obviously drunk towards the end of the story. I take this as a sign that he overdosed. He died of alcohol poisoning. He might not be alive anymore. Because it says, from the face of the earth, like he died. His outlook on life was very pessimistic, even though he had a good life, a decent life by other people's standards, but he wasn't satisfied. Because, like, even when the glass broke and she spoke of the bad luck and said, you could lose me, his response was, lose her? How is that bad? Because I don't love her. The passage also phrases it like his wife and aunt died, but I see it as a point of view of him dying and then leaving him as he might be dead and they aren't. Maybe he knows that in the afterlife he'll be judged for not actually loving his wife and taking glances at other women. So that's like, tell me what further evil can happen to me? Be like, he could be punished for all eternity in the afterlife. The second quote that I'm going to analyze is, I think I have endured everything. I've been ill, I've lost money, I got reprimanded by my superiors every day, and I go hungry, and a mad wolf has run into the station yard. What more is there? I've been insulted, humiliated, and I have insulted others in my time. I have not been a criminal, it is true, but I don't think I am capable of crime. I am not afraid of being hauled up for it. As pessimistic as he is, it's kind of justified in being depressed with his life and not being satisfied if these are the things that keeps happening to him. I'm surprised he held out for as long as he did in that job at the railway station. It's like the only things that were keeping him going were all those women that kept walking by and he's like, or, his love for alcohol. Otherwise, why would you stay in this job if you're going to lose money, constantly get sick, be yelled at by your superiors, go hungry, and witness a wolf run into a station yard? He's also trying to rebuke his wife and the whole bad luck scenario with him. Like, I've lived through all this. What could be worse than this? This is why he finds escapism in alcohol, yet he does not love his wife nearly as much. No, he doesn't. It's a story of trying to find satisfaction in a really downer life, trying to find some kind of passion to live in a very pessimistic worldview. Thank you.